Okay, so let's now see how we can use sokonalysis to actually reverse a hash function. So most of the times you find that when you're given a CTF challenge, it's sometimes difficult for you to actually reverse a particular hash using some websites, famous websites, because the passwords can be complex. So we tend to use tools such as Join the Reaper, Hashcat, and so on. So let's just demonstrate on how we can do that without even complicating things. So first of all, you'd like to download this particular tool, which is sokonalysis. All the guidelines are here. And once you do that, don't forget to fork and star the particular repo. And then now the challenge which will be testing this one is called so the challenge is under web exploitation and it's called PostgreSQL. So basically you can register your account on ZedCTF by actually visiting this URL. So without wasting time, let's just see this particular challenge. So here we are given a description, so we won't even read that, but here we are told to connect to this particular database on our terminal. So here I can just open up a terminal anywhere, so I can even open it up here. So I'd like to access my root account, so just enter your password. Then once you do that, paste that Postgre URL to connect to the database. So we can see that now we are connected to the database. So to see the tables, I can actually do that. So we can see here we have a table which is called users. So inside this table called users, I would like to select that particular table. So I'll select everything from the field or column name, which is called, or the table name by the way, which is called users. So once I do that, you can see that we only have one username, which is a ZedCTF player, and we have a hash password. So most of the times when we are given hashes, we would like to first utilize online sources to find out what type of hash is that. So we normally use cipher identifier, which is decode, to identify a kind of cipher we have. So in this case, if I analyze, you see that the result is MD5. Okay, so let's try to decode using this particular tool. So if I say decrypt, we realize that the result will say no result. Not that this hash cannot be reversed, but because the word list which they are using to reverse these hashes is actually limited. So in this particular case, assuming that you already have sokonalysis, you just need to go in that particular directory which you have sokonalysis. And then once you find that, you just need to open your terminal. And then once you open your terminal, you can simply say Python 3, and then just say sokonalysis, and then we want to run the GUI. So once the GUI runs, what you need to do is, you can see hashing algorithm is option number 3, so we can just go on option 3. Okay, then we've already identified that it's MD5, but if we want, we can just say hash identifier, which is option number 3. So let's start from there. So we can paste this hash which we want to identify. Then you can see they're also telling us it's MD5. Okay, so since we've confirmed that true is MD5, now we can try to reverse it by going straight with MD5. Then to reverse, we just need to press R or type R. So once we do that, just paste the hash which you want to use. Now in this particular case, we would like to try the local word list. So when you are downloading sokonalysis, basically there's this part for which we recommend that you download a word list which we provide, which is called word list.txt. So that particular word list.txt is none other than the famous word list which we normally use, which is locute.txt. So you can see that the output name is being saved as word list.txt, but the file which we are downloading is locute.txt. So the good part about these two is that you can customize this particular word list. So if you want, you can access other word lists which you have, for example, in your system. Then when you go in user, then share, then you can access your word lists for which you want to use. So for example, where is that? So for example, if you want to use the locute.txt, by the way, there's someone who are using, or any other word list, you can just make sure that inside this source code for sokonalysis, you drag a particular word list and paste it here for which you want. Then you are going to see we have this word list.txt. So just rename your dragged word list into word list.txt. Then once that is done, now you can actually use this option which is called local word list, option number 2. So now it will be searching in the local word list. Remember, this hash, yes, it can be a complex password, but because the word list we are using locute.txt has millions of passwords. So let's just give it time. So I want to pause the video so that we see how long it can take us actually to crack this particular password. So let's just give it some time, and then let's see what will happen. So we have different options here. You can just go with option number 4 if you want, which is the hash reverser. So for hash reverser, basically we use an API, so you need to be connected to the internet for that one. So again, it's effective, same as the word list. Now for the word list, the good part is that you can customize it. Then again, inside this MD5, you can see we have the online browser. So for the online browser, there's a particular website which we are using to get those particular passwords, but it's not effective because even that password doesn't have a complex word list. Okay, so the only recommended options, you can use option number 2, which we are using. Then you can use also option number 3, which is recommended. So we can see now that we have the result, which is hashtag boss lady, but on that particular site, Safe Identify, I'm not saying it's bad, but we didn't manage to find this particular hash because of some limitations in their word list. So you can just go back and try to submit. So which question talks about what's the password for the general user? So we realize that the password is hashtag #1bossready. So that's how you can actually solve this first question. So if you want, you can continue this particular challenge until you solve all these other questions which follow. So it's about SQL. It's about SQL queries, specifically for Postgre. So this is it for the video. My name is Asoko James, representing KMU Cybersecurity Tutorials and ZedCTF platform.